From missing last names to suspicious foxes and talking vegetables with superpowers, Peppa Pig's world is packed with mysteries hiding in plain sight. Today we'll look at the weirdest and most puzzling secrets in Peppa Pig that you might have missed. The mystery of Mr. Potato. The episode Mr. Potato Comes to Town starts with the pig family sitting together and watching television. On the screen, Mr. Potato leads an energetic exercise routine and encourages everyone to stay active and eat plenty of fruits and vegetables. But here's where things take a strange turn. Mr. Potato himself is a vegetable. This raises some big questions. Is Mr. Potato just an animal dressed in a vegetable costume? Or is he something entirely different? A giant, sentient vegetable with the ability to talk? Even more bizarre, he's casually telling others to eat more vegetables, which technically would include him. It's never explained how Mr. Potato fits into this world, but whether he's a regular character in disguise or a one-of-a-kind talking vegetable, one thing's for sure. His existence makes things a whole lot weirder. Super Potato's incredible powers. Another unsolved mystery is that in the episode Super Potato, a Super Potato was seen flying in the sky wearing a cape. Unlike other talking vegetables like Mrs. Carrot, who uses a rope to fly, Super Potato actually defies gravity. And that's not all. He also has unbelievable strength, strong enough to rescue Mr. Potato when he gets stuck inside a car. But where do these powers come from? No other vegetable in Peppa Pig's world has super strength or the ability to fly. And if talking vegetables exist because of some kind of experiment, why is Super Potato the only one with special abilities? Was he created differently, or did he gain these powers over time? Mr. Potato's secret twin? For a long time, many thought they were the same character, until this rescue of Mr. Potato from a car proved they are two separate beings. This mission raised another suspicion. Super Potato and Mr. Potato share more than just a name. They have the same shape and even the same mustache. Now, in Peppa Pig's world, characters who look alike, like Daddy Pig and Uncle Pig, are usually related. They at least have small differences, like beards or minor facial features. But with Mr. Potato and Super Potato, there's nothing to set them apart except their outfits. So, could they be twins? And if they're not related, how do two identical talking potatoes exist in the same world? The mystery of Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox is one of the most suspicious characters in Peppa Pig. He always seems to appear at just the right moment, sometimes a little too conveniently. In the episode Night Animals, Grandpa Pig tucks his chickens in for the night, turns around, and suddenly, Mr. Fox is just standing there. We all know foxes have a reputation for sneaking into farms at night, so what exactly was he doing near the chicken coop? Just taking a walk or something else? This suspicion is fueled by the posters outside the station. The wanted posters feature two fox symbols, one on each side. They look suspiciously like Mr. Fox's store logo, raising the question, is he actually wanted by the police? It wouldn't be too surprising, considering his shop is full of random items, all marked with his own sticker. Where does he even get all this stuff? And in another episode, Grandpa Pig needs a metal detector but can't find his old one. Right on cue, Mr. Fox appears and sells a metal detector that looks exactly like Grandpa Pig's lost one.
It's just like my old one.
How did he know they wanted one? And why did Grandpa say it looked just like his? Even funnier, Freddy Fox dreams of being a policeman when he grows up.
I want to be a policeman when I grow up.
Could it be that one day he might actually have to arrest Mr. Fox? Peppa and George's school. Peppa is older than George. There's no doubt about that. She's the big sister, and George is still at the age where he carries his dinosaur everywhere. But despite this clear age gap, both siblings are in the same class at school. How does that make sense? One possibility is that George is a little piggy genius. He keeps up with Peppa in class, follows along with the lessons, and doesn't seem out of place. If that's the case, he might have skipped a few grades, which makes him one of the youngest but smartest students in Peppa's class. Another theory flips the idea around. What if Peppa was actually held back a few years? Maybe school isn't her strongest area, and she's been repeating the same grade. The show never explains this detail, so we're left to wonder, did George skip ahead? Or has Peppa been in the same class for longer than we think? Is George adopted? Speaking of George, there's something unusual about his name. It makes fans question if he's really Peppa's biological brother. Every other character in the show follows a clear naming pattern. Edmund Elephant, Pedro Pony, Danny Dog. Their first and last names start with the same letter, matching their animal type. Even Peppa follows this rule with her name, Peppa Pig. But then there's George Pig. His initials don't match like the others. If he was part of the pig family from birth, wouldn't they have chosen a name that also starts with P? like Peter or Patrick? One explanation is that George was adopted and already had his name before joining the family. If that were the case, it would explain why his name breaks the pattern. Some fans point to the episode Edmund Elephant's Birthday, where George's full name appears on an invitation as George Pig. But what if Edmund's family just assumed his last name was Pig, like Peppa's? Of course, not every character follows the pattern. Peppa's cousins, Chloe and Alexander, don't have matching initials either. But the mystery remains. Was George's name a random exception? Or is there a bigger secret behind his place in the pig family? The mystery of wild animals. Peppa's world is full of friendly, talking animals. But what about the ones we don't see? There's a strange mystery surrounding wild animals in the show. Even though we never actually see any, characters seem to acknowledge that they exist, and even fear them. In the episode The Zoo, Madame Gazelle tells her class that they're about to see wild animals. But when they arrive, there's nothing truly wild, just the usual talking animals working at the zoo. So, what exactly are they afraid of? Could it be wolves, lions, or even hidden creatures lurking in the background? If Peppa's world follows the same rules as ours, does that mean there are jungles or deep forests filled with untamed animals somewhere? Maybe there's a part of Peppa's world we haven't seen yet, one where wild animals exist, but they're kept far away from the civilized ones. The Four-Eyed Mystery. Peppa Pig's world has a strange animation. Every animal character is always shown from the side. No matter what they're doing, they are never seen facing forward. But despite this, both of their eyes are always visible. This raises a bizarre question. If we ever saw them from the front, would they have 4 eyes? Interestingly, this rule doesn't apply to the human characters in Peppa Pig. When we see them head-on, they have only 2 eyes. Just as expected. But the show never gives us a clear answer. The only exception seems to be the talking vegetables, like Mr. Potato, who appears facing forward with just 2 eyes. So, is there something more to it? Until Peppa and her friends finally turn to face the camera, this mystery remains unsolved. The predator problem. In Peppa Pig's world, predators and prey live together in perfect harmony. But that raises a big question. What do the meat-eating animals eat? Take Dr. Bear, for example. In nature, bears are one of the largest carnivores. Yet, here he is, visiting a house full of pigs. Not for dinner, but to diagnose George's cold. Then there's the wolf family. Daddy Pig even designed their house. And the show made a quick reference to the 3 Little Pigs, a story where the wolf's goal was, well, not home decor. In the episode The Zoo, the lion and crocodile are running the place, but Madame Gazelle is the only one who seems slightly uneasy about it. If these predators only eat plants, does that mean they munch on Mr. Potato and his veggie friends? Questionable barbecue. In the episode The Fire Engine, Daddy Pig and his soccer team gather for a barbecue. It doesn't seem strange until you realize who's attending. Among the guests, there's a zebra, a rabbit, and a pony, all animals that would logically stick to a vegetarian diet. But then we have Mr. Bull and Mr. Pig, 2 animals most commonly associated with being barbecue. So, what exactly is being grilled at this cookout? If it's vegetables, that's fine. But if it's meat, where did it come from? Peppa's world never really explains this. And honestly, maybe it's better that way. The animal hierarchy. Peppa Pig's world is full of talking, walking animals. But not all animals. While Peppa and her friends go to school, drive cars, and live in houses, some animals, like the ducks at the park or Goldie the goldfish, act just like regular animals. So, why do some animals get to wear clothes and go on vacations while others are just pets? It's almost as confusing as that talking potato. And there you have it. Some of the strangest and funniest mysteries lurking in Peppa Pig. The more you look, the weirder things get. And some of these eerie details raise more questions than answers. After all, Peppa's world has never been one for strict logic. Did we miss any creepy secrets lurking in Peppa's world? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more fun content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.